wanted to have a little more time because I didn't know why I was on the program, so I thought I'd have to think fast. I had the greatest honor that I could possibly have had, made possible by Nat, who batched it for a week every month while I was privileged to come down and take care of our mother. I just have to tell you that I had been with her till a week before she died. And knowing that was her very last time that I would see her, I said a final farewell to her again. How fortunate I was that I had 3 or 4 final farewells. I was thinking each month, she surely couldn't last another month, and then she would surprise us all. But this last time, there's no doubt about it. She was in hospice care, and she was very, very weak. So I was home a week when I got the word. And I would not want her back to go through again what she went through to get where she is now. And she knew where she was going. Examples. But I want to tell you, when I learned that she had actually died, yes. And I never had any reaction until I walked in this room and I'm with you. And I mentioned to my doctor, I said, I think I'm crazy because I don't feel sad. And she said, oh, you're at peace. Yeah. The peace that passes understanding. I don't understand it, but I am at peace. Okay, having said that, I just have to draw one other attention to myself, and then I'm going to stop talking about me. And that is, I am the brightest person in this room. I couldn't get other shoes. I can't go back. Okay, George, you're right. But anyway, when I thought about what am I going to pack to wear to this, and I opened my closet, and I saw this dress, I thought, this is the one I have to have because this was hers. And when she was finished with it, she gave it to me, and I wanted it in a year. Okay. So that was my way of bringing a little mama here. The pleasure of the last 3 years that I want to share is that I learned so much from her. She was so kind. She was so sweet and easy to be around. She had mellowed. She was just so gracious and dear. And so it really was a pleasure to be with her. And the honor was that she always taught me. I learned so much from her. Certainly about the dignity of dying. She had so much grace. We have a lot of craziness too. She saw incredibly imaginative things. We learned, Rosemary and I, about hallucinations where she sees things that nobody else does, and it's because there's a certain kind that a person who's losing vision or has lost vision can, thank you for whoever put the music to, can see things that aren't happening because of activity in a certain place of the optic nerve. There's a physiological reason for some of the things people see. That helped a lot in dealing with her. Just push him up. Now it's falling asleep. Sorry, he's on medication that makes him fall asleep. Just happens. Anyway, the kinds of things that she said were things that are life values. And she told me while she was still on her own, I know that I have failed a lot this year. And she could see it herself. And I wish that I had seen how much physical help she needed while she was still being independent. Steve, Larry, mentioned the long hall where she had lived. And she had said to both Larry and to me, this hall is getting awfully long. We should have figured that meant, I can't do this anymore, long before she came to Rosemary. They will all be so grateful that Rosemary took her in. And I had said, if she could do that, then I would come. And so it was really extremely selfish as it turned out, because she was such a blessing. And those of you who visited her know what a blessing she was. The last thing she said, I'm always interested in people's last words. The last thing she said to me that made any sense was she was sitting in her wheelchair and she said to me, and we had been quiet and I was looking at her, and she said, take good care of yourself. Love everybody. Kaya yippee kayo. And it just pleased me because she was really here and she was having fun with me too. I think she thought about, well, these are really serious words, and she liked it. But Kaya yippee kayo was something that was on a record we heard when we were kids, and she was recalling the moments of playing that. If I had my back turned to her, I would have missed this. It was totally quiet. She was lying on her side, so weak that Rosemary and I positioned her. She couldn't move her arms and legs. She couldn't even lift her head. And I was looking at her, and she raised her head up and looked up at the ceiling, and her eyes open and just had this glorious smile. And then she put her head down, and as though she couldn't believe what she had actually seen, she raised her head up again, and with the same smile 2 more times. So it was like real confirmation of something wonderful to come. Before that, there were times when she said, George, like our uncle had just walked by and she was getting his attention. And a little later, Ralph. And I thought, these are family members, always dear to us, but long gone, and they were coming for her. So I have no doubt where they are and where she is. So, my dear loved ones, Kaya yippee kayo.
I want to speak for St. Patrick's and say how grateful we have been for the Bogel family, particularly for Walt, who used to count money every Sunday, and for Bea, who I think worked in the workshop on Friday mornings. And but more than anything else, they were part of this congregation when it was growing like mad, and they did their part in making it grow. And Bea, I remember, almost always had a twinkle in her eye, and you couldn't really figure out whether she was joking or not, but she always was. You had to figure it out. And so being around the two of them for us here was a lot of fun. And I think it was a lot of fun for you, the family, and you took really wonderful care of her and of them, and they took really good care of you in earlier times. I'm thinking that in our Father's house there are many mansions. The mansion that is reserved for the Bogel family didn't have to be pretty big. But it's not big. I'm sure that we will improvise and that there'll be room for everybody there. And the place is prepared for us when our time comes, just as we believe Walt and Bea got home. So we give thanks for their life this day, for all that they have been, and all that they are. Amen. We're going to sing the special